Hi, I'm Rachel Hyman-Sisco, and I just learned about the Australian shootings yesterday. My son told me about it. I was in holiday mode, and so I wasn't paying attention. But Hanukkah, apparently, in Australia, I've got to look at my phone for accurate stuff. This is off of NPR, is the source I'm using. And it says at least 15 people were killed at a beach in Sydney, Australia on Sunday when a father and son opened fire on a crowd celebrating the beginning of Hanukkah. At least 42 people were hospitalized. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of this because it talks about what the Prime Minister and Netanyahu and people are calling and blaming it on this and blaming it on that. But when it comes down to it, let's be real. This was a father-son duo. No one forced them to kill anyone. This is not the leader's fault, okay? There's a problem, not only in this country, but apparently in the world with hatred. And it's definitely a hate crime, definitely anti-Semitism in this case, but the Prime Minister is calling this a terrorist incident targeting Jewish Australians. So, anyway, mass shootings are rare in Australia, which has historically strict gun laws. But Sunday's deadly massacre has prompted Albanese and other Australian officials to revisit those laws and call for further restrictions to prevent more mass shootings in the future. Now, you have to register your gun, you have to license, all that, I believe, in Australia. And they have guns that you are allowed to have and that you aren't. And they had everything legal. They had it all done legally, the son and the father. All that was done legally. 6 firearms is what they owned. And the father, I believe, was 40, and the son was 10. 10 years old. Who takes their... Shootings are bad enough, but now you're taking a 10-year-old, a very impressionable age, and both of them were shot and killed. Why would you... I don't know why. Mental health, whatever, hatred. How far is everyone really willing to go to do this? These people had never done anything wrong to them, but to the people who were killed and hurt, but apparently they felt entitled to do this. Anyway, so they're going to revisit their strict gun laws. The Australian administration is going to revisit those gun laws and make them even stricter. My son told me they banned them completely, but when I looked it up, I did not find that. They had already notoriously strict gun laws from the mass shooting in 1996, and now they're going to go back and look it up, go back and look to find how to make it even stricter. The point is Australia gives a crap about its people. So you say anything about the political people. No one told them to pick up a gun and do this. And the fact that they made stricter gun laws in 1996 after a mass shooting, and now in 2025, they're going to revisit it and make even stricter gun laws. So there's accountability for the people and everything, and it's not just an attack on Jewish people during a religious holiday that celebrates a miracle, okay? And it's an attack on every Australian when this happens, that they can't go out and be safe, What's next? They're not... Anyway, father and son died. I think I said that, but what a waste. One of them was an assistant rabbi. One of them was a survivor of World War II. The Holocaust, probably one of the last survivors of the Holocaust. Whatever. So, senseless. Absolutely senseless. And Australia is known for having some of the strictest gun laws. They very rarely have mass shootings. But I firmly believe that America isn't going to lower a flag for some other country's mass shootings because we don't even do it with our own. But it's truly a tragedy. You stop to celebrate something and then someone's got to ruin it. This is a time of peace and love and all sorts of holidays. And it's not just Hanukkah and Christmas, it's winter solstice, it's Kwanzaa, it's all of the holidays that celebrate peace on earth, goodwill towards human beings. My son called me up and said, "How are you doing, Mom?" What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There was a mass shooting at a Hanukkah gathering in Australia. So I'm not just about protecting America. If I'm president, I want to protect as many people as I can, regardless of geography. I think we really need to take a step back. It's another shooting. We need to really think about our gun laws because we are really lax. And Missouri, especially, I think, is one of the laxest, the lowest restrictions in the entire nation. Look at our crime rate. It's not great. That's the administration's fault, that the laws aren't tougher. When laws are already in place and are strict and stuff is still happening, that's not on the political people, that's on the human being. But I believe in this case, laws can be made to prevent it. People are going to do it anyway. It would be harder to get a gun. They would have to register it, license it. In Australia, they have it agriculture and recreation. So hunting and going out and shooting targets. And don't give me this, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Don't give me that crap. Quit giving people guns. You just made your argument. Quit giving people guns. Those are the people who are picking them up. And you have to be some sort of crazy to not value human life. And I don't know if that's an appropriate word to use. I'm not going to blame this on mental health. Everyone should know the laws, be aware, and they're committing a crime. That's why it's so important to look at our jail system, get the people out that aren't violent criminals, that have good behavior and whatever. Because I know there's people in jail that don't belong there. Some of them were innocent, whatever. We need to go through and find that out, and we need to at least have something in place that we can arrest these people and put them. Jail, prison. Jail's only temporary, I guess. At least in Washington, if you're there for a year, you go to prison. I don't know Washington State. I don't know all 50 states or territories guidelines, but I was told a sexual predator, they didn't have any room in prison, so he got 364 days. 364 days. There's something wrong with America. Something wrong. And I don't see anyone doing anything about it. And that's why I want to be president of America, because I would do something about it. If I could, if I had the power, if I could put these words in the ears of the government, whatever, that's what I would do. And a lot of the government people who are in political power are doing some really serious things, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's taking money that isn't theirs, whatever. That happens so much. And I'd like to look at that. And that should be, I don't know why people aren't going to jail for their crimes. if they're politicians, no one seems to be going to jail except for a lot of aldermen and alder people in Missouri. They seem to go to jail, and police chiefs, but not governors. Not governor. They don't. Lawyers get away with so much, and death is the result of at least one of them that I know of. But this isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about guns are not safe. People are not responsible enough to have guns. No one should have an automatic gun. Guns are supposed to protect you, not that they were used for protection. If somebody came on your land, if you were in a war, you had a gun to protect yourself. But now we've got school shootings, we've got holiday celebrations that are being shot up, places of worship on Sunday morning, homeless people, and there's no way to tell who's going to do it. Be mindful, those of you who don't want your guns taken away. Yeah, you might be that one person who's responsible, but there's a lot of people out there who shouldn't have guns, that you would think should not have a gun. Don't just sit there and say, but it's my 14th Amendment. Don't just sit there and say that. Think about it. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening that are in the Constitution. Electoral votes and our freedom of speech is being violated. I can't even watch TV news because I've seen it. I've seen them take stuff out of context. I've seen it. And you guys have seen it too, but maybe you don't know it. I can watch a full speech on YouTube that someone has captured, but on TV, it goes to something else and minimizes a 30-minute speech in 1 or 2 minutes. And I don't even know about the newspaper. I don't even know. So we just have to trust what is being shown that's taken on a cell phone. That's all. That's all we can rely on. The president is taking comedians off the air if they don't fit his agenda. How does a president have control over actors and comedians and television? I don't understand. This is confusing to me. I find NPR is the most informative place to get anything. So that's where I went, and there's details there, and I'm sure across the board. But we need to start lowering flags for, if we're going to lower a flag for one person who no one knew about and had political affiliations and a friendship with the president, there's a lot of people out there that deserve a flag flown for them. Children, rabbis, priests, whoever. As long as they were a good person and they didn't go around sexually assaulting people or killing people. Innocent victims, our flag should be lowered. But guess what? Our flags would be lowered every single day because are not stopping bullets. As Americans, are we proud? Are we proud that we all can own guns? Are we proud that everyone can shoot people? Is that what we're proud of? I'm not proud of that. I am appalled. And I'm appalled that the administration has not done anything about it except for talk. So that's why I want to be president, is I want to acknowledge everyone, people who are getting killed, and not just by guns, but by tornadoes and floods and destruction of any kind. But this particular thing is about the Australian shootings and how terrible it is. And God, I can't say anything. I cannot say anything to a family member like, I'm so sorry this happened, because that doesn't even touch on how they're feeling. But maybe someone will hear this that can do something about this. so it doesn't keep happening to other people. Ridiculous. The other day I said, Happy Hanukkah. I still want you guys to have a good Hanukkah. This isn't your fault. But I want you to stop thinking about your own self and your own wants, and I want you to start thinking about how that affects other people. And anyway, Rachel Hyman-Sisco, running for president in 2028, because I think I can do better. I wouldn't run if I didn't. If I thought I was going to be worse, I wouldn't do it. But clearly I can do better. And a lot of the good candidates that we talk about, Newsom and Crockett for the Democratic, they don't want to do it. It's a mess that they would have to clean up. They know where their power is, and that's in local and Congress. That's where the laws are made. But I'm going to do my damnedest to clean the mess up and make it easier on them so they don't have to work so hard. I stand behind anybody who has America's best interest at heart. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter anything. We're all people. We're all humans. We should have some humanity and some care from beyond. I'm a parent and I'm a grandparent. Never take a 10-year-old to even an R-rated movie, much less a mass murder. I want you guys to have a good day. But I had to say something because this is just tragic. But thanks for watching. Comments, anything you want, about the shooting, what you think about gun laws, recipe for jelly donuts. That's what I'm going to be making tonight. But don't get hateful. We can't stop thinking of each other as groups of people, and we want to be the best group. We can all be the same as far as we can all work together as a group to make things better. But man, no one's making a case to me about open carry or lax gun laws. Every time this happens, I want stricter and stricter. So if you're for the 14th Amendment, might want to talk to your buddies about when and where and how to use their guns. And when you start going on a rant about that, whatever. You guys wonder why there's so many moms that hate guns out there. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Think independently, you guys. It's the time to really think independently.